Good morning and welcome to the Scoop with Barb. We're going to talk about really like a lot of things in the WNBA today, but we are going to start with NaLyssa Smith and DiJonai Carrington's relationship. And did that influence anything in the playoffs? Because they play on opposing teams, and it's been rumored that they are, that NaLyssa shared plays with DiJonai. Well, which one has a higher profile this season? So, I mean, I'm thinking that that NaLyssa would do anything she could to keep Carrington on her good side. And we're going to look at some things that have happened and talk about that. And we're going to talk about Teaspoon getting fired and what Angel Reese said about that, and how sad that I am that the Indiana Fever didn't make it farther in the playoffs. They had a great season, but we're going to talk about all that. So if you're a WNBA fan and you want to talk about all this stuff that's happened this week, stay tuned.
Hey everyone, you're tuned in to the Scoop with Barb, bringing you the important updates and information you need to know. Let's get started.
So, getting started with NaLyssa Smith and DiJonai Carrington, here they are right here after the Connecticut Sun beat the Indiana Fever in 2 games and knocked the Fever out of the playoffs, which when you look at it, I mean, I'm not asking anybody to cheat for the Indiana Fever, but once the Indiana Fever left the playoffs, you got to think that a lot of fans are like, okay, we're done watching the WNBA for now. I mean, that's how I feel about it. Will I watch some games? I'll probably watch bits and pieces of games, but I'm not going to plan my day around basketball now. Plan my days around watching the Indiana Fever. I love the whole team, not just Caitlin. I have begun to love the whole team. I love watching the whole team. Not that every play and every player is perfect or anything like that, but I've enjoyed it. But here they are after the game. This is the same day that they gave they gave DiJonai Carrington the most improved player of the season. And every time they played each other, this is what happens after the game. They get together and they take a picture and stuff. And I think that then Carrington goes on and she's like, free NaLyssa Smith, like they're the ones perpetrating all this rumor and everything around their relationship. This is from Sportskeeda. The interactions between DiJonai Carrington and NaLyssa Smith were an interesting subplot in the playoff series between the Indiana Fever and the Connecticut Sun. They are in a relationship. They're on opposing teams. And DiJonai earlier in the season had injured Caitlin Clark or knocked her to the floor. And so there's been this drama between these two teams anyway. But having this relationship and then it going into the playoffs, hey, welcome in and go ahead and let me know you're here in the comments. Let me know who's here. And it's good to see people coming in. I appreciate that. We're just talking about really all stuff WNBA today. But I do want, we're starting with, why would Smith's mad. She's not getting as much playing time. She even got taken out of the starting lineup. Why would she not cheat? Like, why would she not help her girlfriend out? Well, would you? I wouldn't, because you're under contract for a team and you don't want to, give any kind of implication that you've cheated or anything. But While the two did not interact too often on the court, they did pose for photos after the Indiana Fever's 87-81 loss to the Sun. They were on the same team at one point, and now they're not. Now, I don't know. I don't think Smith will be with the Fever next year. She has taken Indiana Fever off of her okay, this is her X, which is formerly known as Twitter. It used to say Indiana Fever here. Now she's just got WNBA. So I'm thinking she's out. I don't know what all is going to happen this season. We've got a new team coming in. We've got a new, the draft for that and everything. And there's going to be a lot of moving around. And I've said before, I don't really understand how all the draft works because I've never followed a draft that closely behind the scenes and how everything works. It's not something that I'm educated in. Leah Boston actually posted this. My forever sister, I got you always. Let God continue to guide you. You're destined for greatness. And this is NaLyssa Smith's Twitter page. And like I said, she's removed anything to do with the Indiana Fever from it. So I don't know how it works. I don't think you can. I guess you can just quit a team and leave the WNBA, but I don't think she'll do that. She's a good player. It's just that no matter how good of a player you are, there are certain things that happen with your mindset and how things affect you in the season. And having your girlfriend and having all this stuff that's happened in the WNBA this year in the Twitter, social media world, it's difficult for people to handle, especially people who don't stay off of the internet. Like, I think Caitlin handles it, at least from what we can see, but as good or better than anybody. And she's in the spotlight. Like, here's what NaLyssa Smith said. This is 16 hours ago. Well, one, I could have never imagined my third year to go like this, LOL, but I know there's a lesson in every loss. The love I have for my teammates will forever be unmatched. The amount of times y'all pick me up and just brighten up my day by just making me laugh when y'all knew what I was going through is why I consider y'all my family and thank y'all every day for that. I wonder what she was going through. Like, what was NaLyssa going through? I mean, I know Kelsey Mitchell's father, who was her basketball partner, like trained her and was by her side for all of her basketball career, passed away right before the season. And she's on the same team. And I mean, that's a lot. That's a lot. But I don't know what NaLyssa Smith was going through. Does anybody know? Two, I've never questioned my basketball abilities in my life because I know I'm good enough and I know I belong. Do I have shit to improve on? Absolutely. I'll never be perfect, and y'all shouldn't expect me to be perfect. But I'll always work to be as close as perfect as I can be. That's the thing about me is regardless of all the shit I went through, it never stopped me from working because I know who I am. Three, my family and I thank you all every single day for the long talks, the long messages, hearing me out, and giving me a shoulder to cry on without judgment because y'all know who I am as a person and not just as some basketball player. Even though y'all piss me off every day because I told y'all to get the hell off social media, LOL. I know it was never out of spite and was y'all just trying to protect me and show the world who I really am. 4, Tubbs. You've been my biggest supporter through these rough times. Who is Tubbs? Always reminding me that I'm loved and that you care about me as a human being. Thank you for always being in my corner and hearing my rants after games and just letting me vent and get shit off my chest and always reminding me who TF I am. LOL. You know I love you regardless of how they try and spin it. You know we locked in for 41, 4L. I don't know what that says. And then it's got the heart thing. 5, Shard and Queen, my dogs, my family. Thank you for always checking in with me and making sure I'm straight shit. May seem small, but it really meaning the world, and I'm grateful to have y'all in my life. 6, my fans. Thank y'all for seeing the good in me and always having my back on social media and making me feel loved when y'all see me. There was so much negative, but so much more positive, regardless of anything that happens in my future. I hope y'all continue to rock with the kid. All I ever wanted to do was just hoop and show the world who I am. But trust me, y'all will see. Well, NaLyssa, I don't know. It says number 1 out. I guess she's leaving the fever. I mean, like I said, she took the fever out of her Twitter, like right after they've lost. People are accusing her of giving plays to. Let's see what people are saying here. Uh, People are saying, I think people forget that at the end of the day, most of everyone in the league just wants to hoop and play basketball. I think most people in the league do want to hoop and play basketball, but when you're on social media, you set yourself up. So if you go look at that, if you go look at what is being said, I don't like, I really, NaLyssa Smith wasn't my number 1 on my radar this season. I haven't really paid attention to what's going on behind the scenes with her, other than she's dating a player who was excelling this year and has a nasty attitude, in my opinion. But Get Some Jay says NaLyssa Smith needs to go. The core is Boston, Clark, and Mitchell. Smith did some sketchy stuff in the playoffs. Almost like trying to throw the game. Stopping the game could help her lover find her contact. Come on, too obvious. Did she stop the game for that? I did not know that. Well, look, like I said earlier, NaLyssa Smith's season wasn't looking all that great because I guess she's basing that upon, well, you had the best new player in the league. I don't know that Caitlin's the best player yet, but she's going to end up being the best player. She has amazing stats for a rookie. Set a lot of new records, not only for her team but for the league, and some of those were even for the NBA included. But would NaLyssa, especially if she was mad at her team, oh, I'm not getting to play as much as I did. And one time, Carrington posted something up, as long as it lasted. Like, she went in and she had a pretty good game, but she didn't get to play that long. Get Some. Did she stop the game? Because I was wondering, because the WNBA doesn't stop play when you get hurt. You have to call a timeout, or there has to be a break. There has to be a whistle blown. There has to be a break in play. There has to be a jump ball, or ball going out, or a free throw, or something has to happen to stop that clock. And if you're not stopping the clock, you're just going to lay there. So that's going to save flopping and pretending to be hurt to get a timeout. So that's a good reason why they do that. NBA is telling the league that the alimony checks will stop if they don't clean up. Yes, they delayed the game. Wow. Well, and there was a couple of times when Smith was on the court. I think it was in that first game, and Carrington just dribbled by her and scored. It's like NaLyssa wasn't going to guard her girlfriend. I mean, it is a conflict of interest. It's like, it's enough of a conflict for sisters to be on opposing teams, but sisters are going to be less likely probably to do, why do you want to hurt the team you're on? And look, I think NaLyssa at the least didn't play hard on Carrington, and I just don't know how you don't give secrets out when you're sleeping with the enemy. It would be difficult, especially if you're angry at whatever's happening with your team that you keep talking about. Wishing you nothing but the best in whatever your future holds. I guess she's leaving. Free, y'all. Free. Well, you're free then, NaLyssa. You don't want to be with the fever? Love your game and wish you were staying with the Fever. Good luck at wherever you end up. Thank you for giving it all. I wish it ended differently. Sad. I mean, I wish the season ended differently. I wish that at least they could have got that third game at home. I think the WNBA is kind of weird because, hey, Navigator, I think the WNBA is weird in how they do a lot of their stuff, and they weren't ready for Caitlin Clark. They're not. They weren't ready for it. I think the best for everyone. You will be a good player for some other team. Well, if you weren't, I mean, look, I don't. She didn't stand out for the Fever. I don't. She didn't stand out. And why? Why did she get pulled from starting? Yeah, this is just everybody just talking. Talking her up to her, and that's cool. NaLyssa, I don't have anything against her, except if she cheated, right? This is what she did for. Go to the mall, I'm bigger than the mall. Yeah, I gotta play the music. This is, I don't know if y'all have seen this, but this is NaLyssa Smith the day that her girlfriend, DiJonai Carrington, the mustard girl, got most improved player of the WNBA this season. And this is what she did for her. Nothing wrong with it. But I can't go to the mall. I'm bigger than the mall. I can't play the music. She did all this stuff, and she put glitter and stuff in the carpet. Will never come up. Most improved player. She's got all the glitter stars. She's putting them around the apartment. I'm guessing this is Carrington's apartment since the game was there. Or home, or I mean, I don't know. All these balloons. And was this the same day as the game? Was this before the game or after the game? Well, later you see Carrington drinking some champagne or wine. So I mean, after the game, maybe that afternoon. I think it was probably that afternoon, but no, she was drinking some wine, and I don't think you'd want to do that and play. Hey, Alan. I'm just going to say Alan because I'm not sure how to say your name, but good to see you back. Good to see everybody coming in. Thank you. It was after the game because it looks daylight outside. That's the only reason I'm saying that. It looks daylight outside, those blinds. But it could be lighting out there. I don't know. But yeah, it makes more sense to do it after the game. And then her glitter or her poppet thing didn't work right, and it shot out the bottom. You'll see that in a second. I mean, nothing wrong with this. It's cute. It's all cute. I don't, it's based on stats and everything. And I mean, Carrington did have a good year. I'm not opposed to what happened on the court with her. As far as her play, it was just some of the poking Caitlin in the eye and then saying she didn't even know she hit her. She didn't know she hit her, but she pulled her hand back after she did that. Can you tell me how to say it? Is it Elaine, Allen? These WNBA ladies better stop lying and show us the evidence about death threats. Yeah, they're claiming they're getting death threats, and they are, Caitlin complained during the game because some man was over there, and he said, supposedly, hold on just a second. Oh, okay. And supposedly he called her the C word and said that he wished death on her, like hit your head and die or something like that. And he got taken out of the game, but I heard he came back and was back on the sideline. It's just jealousy. Yes, Barb, you said it right. Elaine, now I don't remember how I said it. Elaine? I just want you to know that you don't go number 2 in the draft for nothing. The NaLyssa Smith disrespect is funny. I advise y'all to watch her build up at Baylor from her freshman year to senior year. She had 2 good seasons in the W before this year, and now y'all want to call her useless. Well, I didn't call her useless. I mean, not every player is going to play well under every coach and every system. And what she did last year at the Indiana Fever, I mean, they didn't have a winning season last year. They went even this year and made it to the playoffs, but she was on a not very good team. So I don't know how good she was. But yeah, I mean, that's fine. Whatever's going on with that, go ahead and do your thing. Go ahead and do your thing. But now we're going to look at this. This is some more on these two. DiJonai Carrington demands Fever-free NaLyssa Smith after low playoff usage. Well, they were playing against you. Fans will be fans. NBA doesn't have these issues. Players focus on the game. Alan. Okay, thank you, Alan. Okay, when I was at Baylor, I'm sorry, but the women's basketball team had an ego. Well, yeah, the women, look, you're going to have a lot of drama with women, right? More drama than men, I think. You can go on any internet site and there's drama about everything. There's drama about a hurricane. Oh, and by the way, anybody that's suffering today or in the path of the hurricane, I hope you're safe and I hope you all get your power restored really quickly and everything that's going on with that. I haven't heard how many people have been injured or, anything like that. I just saw that there's been a lot of damage and it was a level 3. Yeah. So anyway, so there they are. They always pose after the game for a photo. And it just says the Connecticut Sun eliminated the Indiana Fever from postseason play on Wednesday with this 87-81 win. The Sun completed a 2-game sweep of the Fever to keep their season alive. After the fact, DiJonai Carrington had a message for her defeated foe. Well, I don't even know what 10 toes down means. What does 10 toes down for you mean? From teammates to rivals and back again, DiJonai Carrington and NaLyssa Smith share a special moment post-game. So they do these pictures where they pose and they look close, right? They look like there was one game after one game they didn't look too happy together. But, you know how it is. Sometimes they're just happier than others. They would talk trash to all of us on the basketball. They thought they owned the courts. I was at SMU. Our women were afraid of the Bears. Was that before or after Kim Mulkey was there? Carrington is toxic for the WNBA. Also afraid of TCU. Oh, TCU's got what's her name coming this year? Blondie. I can't think of her name right now. So yeah, I'm getting ready to, getting a little tuned up to watch NCAA basketball. I'm not so hip on the rest of the WNBA season. Like I was saying earlier before some of y'all were in here, yes, will I watch some of that? Probably will. I probably will watch, but I'm not scheduling my time around catching the Indiana Fever, which I did. Of course, every bad fan is a Caitlin Clark fan, even though they actually can't prove it. Yeah, the WNBA wasn't ready for Caitlin, and they, for whatever reason, instead of embracing her and going, I'm going to do better this season, so she can't beat my stats. Let me be better because we've got incoming players like this whole thing with Angel Reese. Yeah, we're going to get to Angel Reese here in a minute. Angel Reese is more about like the drama and stuff. And had she never done this to Caitlin in that game and started this thing between them, which I don't even think there's any reason for them to even be competitive other than, as a team. You didn't like Kim Mulkey? Mulkey, yeah, Mulkey. I'm done watching. Yeah. Well, how many of y'all like put a one in the chat if you're going to make sure and watch the rest of the playoffs? Like, are you going to sit down and watch these games, or are you going to keep up with the WNBA online? Because I mean, I got 91 of y'all in here to talk about this, which is a good amount for my live streams. I don't usually get a lot of people in my live streams. And that's a good amount of people who are interested in what I'm saying because we're talking about the WNBA. So I just wonder, is anybody going to watch? Mulkey was a good advisor to my son when we played state championship. I find trends. No, you're not going to be watching. You're going to watch online. Well, here's the thing. I had to watch the WNBA this season. I had to get a Prime membership, which I've canceled, a Bally Sports, because some of the games by Bally Sports, if they were in your area, this is how it worked for me. I don't live near Dallas, but the Dallas games on Bally Sports I could not watch on my League Pass, which I paid for that too. So I paid for Prime, Bally, League Pass, and I have access to ESPN Plus because I have that part of my package. But I'm paying for that to get sports. So it's a lot to pay for to be able to watch games. No, you're done, Rhonda. Highlights online. Not supporting these ego ladies. I can't stand the Suns. Well, we might watch just to hope they get beat. How about that? I'm looking for Kelsey Mitchell and Aaliyah Boston to get free. No, Kelsey Mitchell will stay and Aaliyah Boston will stay. Do y'all think that Fever will get a new coach? I can't bring myself to watch. Well, I don't know, Susan. Like, I was sad. Like, I was sad when the Fever, that game, their last game, and they were up like, I don't know, it was like 10-4. And I'm like, Barb, this game's got a long way to go. There's going to be a lot of, and I was right. And Little Rock and Dallas too. Yes, Adams Odyssey. Good to see you. Yes, yeah. So that happened for you too. Yeah. So I had to pay even Bally Sports, and that was just to watch the games Caitlin was in when they played Dallas. Caitlin made Carrington look silly. Mitchell, Boston, and Clark are a core. Indiana will pay to keep them. I love watching Mitchell. Mitchell and if Mitchell would just pass the ball a little more instead of always taking the ball and dribbling everywhere to make her shot. I know she's trying to score, right? But there are times when there are open people and she's just pushing it in there and then doesn't make the shot. That's a hard pass for you, Jamie. I agree. Kelsey Mitchell staying with the Fever. I hope so. Kelsey and Boston won't go anywhere. I don't think they will either. It's good to see ladies in here. I haven't been having a whole lot of women in my chat about basketball, and it's women's basketball, and there's a lot of female fans. NaLyssa Smith got 4 minutes on the court. Let's go over here to see what because I don't have any proof that NaLyssa Smith gave DiJonai plays or did any of that, but I'm just thinking you're more into her than you are to your team or to, because the playoffs weren't going to get her anywhere. No, don't fire Christy Sides. I think, well, no, the truth of it is that at least the Indiana Fever brought back someone who had been over. Her name's Kelly something, and she's going to be the president now. They may fire it. It's kind of hard to fire a coach who took your team and improved it for 2 years, right? This is what this picture right here, this is what gave Angel Reese a place. Let's just call it a place with Caitlin Clark. She was able to become this enemy of Caitlin Clark right here. And they played in the All-Star game. I can see that pass clearly that Caitlin made to Angel, and Angel actually scored it. She actually finished the play and made the points on a layup. I don't think that really. I think that Angel just uses Caitlin's, hey, I know Caitlin Clark to get people. But yeah, we got to go back because that just. I need the Angel Reese stuff because Angel came out yesterday and she said some dumb stuff. I'm just saying. That's fine. I'll take the villain role. I'll take the hit for it. But I know we're growing women's basketball. You either like it or you don't. Angel Reese on Caitlin Clark. You weren't. It wasn't you and Caitlin Clark. Now, this is what she posted after Teresa Witherspoon, also known as Teaspoon, got fired. Let me see what y'all are saying. Keep Lexi Hull. Can trade others around CC. Lexi needs to give us 12 points a night. Yeah, Lexi can hit those threes, and she's damn good on defense. So I hope they keep Lexi. I played Top Gun Division II for 12 years, then coached, then a UIL referee in North Texas. I love the game. Good, get some. And here's the thing. They need better referees. They need to be consistent. That game that the Fever lost to Connecticut, to the Sun, just this past game, there were so many more fouls called and so many more times that the Sun got to the foul line than the Angelus shooter. She makes me frustrated passing up shots. Lexi can develop into a defensive player as well. She is a good defensive player. I think Sides will be at the Fever for another year, but she was hired as a rebuild coach. This next year will show us just how good Sides is. Yeah, maybe we should play that, the video of Lynn Dunn. What Lynn Dunn was saying about, let me see if I can find that. Just this. Here. No, that's not it. Here it is. Well, let's watch this before we get to the Angel Reese thing.
With the news.
This was Lynn Dunn talking about what's going on with the Fever and the rebuilding that they did and bringing in here. Yeah, that ought to. Can y'all see that? Yeah, you don't really see her that well, but that's pretty big of her. Let's just do that. Let's listen to what she has to say here.
Of Kelly coming back, can you kind of take us through the process of maybe how long you've been thinking about a move like that and how significant this is for what you're trying to get accomplished here?
Well, I wish I could say that I hired her, but that was Mel Rain, our new, CEO of Leisure Sports and Entertainment. And when I was first...
Yeah, Rhonda, I agree with you. I did like that she got a tee the other night, but she needs to be stronger on the sidelines for her players to keep them out of getting technicals. And yeah, call a timeout when your team is getting trampled on the court and stop that and get something else going. You think Chicago Sky wants to get rid of Angel, Alan?
To coached about the concept of it, I was
If y'all don't know who this is the Indiana Fever's general manager, Lynn Dunn. I'm not sure exactly how the hierarchy is, but they got a new president coming in, coming back to the team. Her name's Kelly, and if anybody knows how to say Crosskopf, she's coming back from the Pacers. She was at the Indiana Fever, but she's part of their. This is talking about rebuilding because they did win a championship in 2016, right? Or
like, oh, wow, taken aback a little bit. I hadn't thought about the possibility of after
they fired
Allison had resigned to take another job, that maybe Kelly might be available. And then once I heard that was a possibility, I was absolutely thrilled because of my relationship with her. We're such a unique time with the WNBA and with the Indiana. This is an unprecedented moment, and as we move forward, we need great leadership, and we need great leadership that's experienced with what we're going to deal with now, especially with the new CBA and just the media rights and everything that's happening, the explosion in the WNBA. And wow, if you told me and said, hey, list the 3 people, if you could have anybody wanted in this new role, I would probably have listed Kelly 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, you're going to say that now.
So experienced, and she's had such an impact.
Well, I'm not one of the people who has been yelling for sides to get fired. I'm not. You can watch back all my videos. Do I have times when I'm like, what the actual F are you doing? Yes. Do we know what goes on behind the scenes? No, we don't always know what's going on. We don't know. And sometimes coaches have to do things because of what's going on. And, there's a lot of, if you think there's a lot of drama on the internet, what do you think goes on in some of these locker rooms? Yes, she's been really good at the NBA Pacers. We're talking now about the Kelly Crosskopf, new president of the Fever, coming back to the Fever. I think that they realized, we got to step some shit up. We got this. We didn't just get the first pick of the draft. We got a superstar who has brought millions of dollars into the WNBA. You got to give it to Caitlin. It's her play that's doing that. I know the people are jealous and they're mad about it, and they want to say that it's racism and it's this and that. It's Caitlin's style of play. It's what she's done that's done this.
On the Indiana Fever, and then also her experiences now in the NBA. So she's got all the bases covered. So once I heard that this was going to happen, man, if I could have done a flip or handspring, I probably would have done it. Fortunately, I didn't try that.
She's been called like the architect of the Fever franchise.
Well, there's no doubt. Let's go all the way back when the league first started. Kelly was in the league office, and then the Simon family brought her to Indy to start the Indiana Fever, I think in 2000, 99 or 2000.
Who are you talking about? Who did a search on Donald Trump? Because it wasn't me. I think she's not the best or worst coach, but one more year will tell all. Let Caitlin keep playing her game. It just seemed like a few times that maybe sides, in the beginning, sides didn't understand Caitlin. And I think Caitlin's hard to coach because she's so basketball savvy, and her basketball IQ is probably higher than a lot of these coaches. And does she have an attitude? Probably. Sides has shown she's willing to change her scheme to Caitlin's skill set and style. She just needs the roster to do it. Yeah. Angela says Sides is not a WNBA coach. Sorry, but she is not. Okay. Well, she is actually, because she's making $500,000 a year. So she is, but I know what you're saying, that she's not, that you don't think she's suitable. I think there's probably better people to do it. They've already fired that other coach. I forgot, a male. Caitlin is going to vote for Harris. Oh, well, look, if you like basketball and you like playing basketball and you like watching basketball, then you don't like somebody because of how they vote, well, then you don't really like basketball that much. WNBA is not used to Pat Riley style fast break. Iowa excelled at it. They are changing the WNBA. It is so boring to watch teams go down. They don't even worry about a fast break. Go watch some of these games. It's so boring. They go down, they pass the ball a few times, they try to make a layup, they don't make it. So many missed layups in the W. Sometimes it's like you get more 3-point shots made than you do layups. It's crazy boring. It's boring. Sides is defensive minded, but she can learn. I'm okay with that. Also needs better sets in half court. Sides doesn't seem like the right coach to make adjustments in crunch times, unless Sides goes in the off season and does some coaching training. Well, and who's on her staff? Because a lot of times when you have a coach, the coach is over all the staff, and sometimes there's those staff members that they coach different players, and sorry, I just kicked my dog accidentally. He's under my feet. Kurt Miller, yeah, he got fired. CC, look, just imagine how good Caitlin's going to be next year. We're not going to have the Angel Reese Caitlin thing that was never really a thing. We're not going to really have that because, well, there's not the rookie of the year thing to talk about. And you're not going to be most valuable player in the WNBA for double doubles. That's just not going to get you there. Not 10 rebounds and 11 points, that kind of game. That's not going to get you most valuable player. No. Most basketball players are voting for Harris. Who cares? Yeah, who cares? Sides weakness is making adjustments on the fly or yes, she does not seem to make adjustments, and she doesn't. Well, I mean, she has to play the team she has, right? They got in the playoffs, and they're playing players who just don't really need to be out there, but they're on a WNBA team, so they got to get some better players. And I'm not personally against any of these players. Don't get me wrong. It's just it's a business, right? It's not intramural sports or Cub Scouts, it's not that everybody gets to play or everybody gets a trophy. It's the best get to play. Yeah, I would love to have Kate Martin come over and play for Indiana. I say that like I'm in Indiana or part of the team. I'm not, but I'd love to have Kate Martin on the team because she is good. She's good enough to be on the team, and she knows Caitlin, and they play well together. Sides is inexperienced, and this is a very big job role. I don't blame her, but she isn't good enough right now for this team's potential. Well, time will tell. Time will definitely tell. I don't think they're going to fire her. I don't. I still don't understand how their pace changed so bad after they clinched the playoffs, even before the season ends. Yeah. Did they get tired, Grayback? I mean, it's a young, very young team, and they seemed to be tired because they didn't have they could bring people off the bench, but they're not as good, as these benches of these other teams. Look, the All-Stars beat the Olympic team. Yeah, you don't forget that. Kurt Miller getting courted by Chicago, from what I'm hearing. Oh, I don't know how some of these girls like men coaching them. Some players seem to like having a male coach, and some like having a female coach. I think there's differences in that, and that's just on a personal level, communication level. I don't. It's just that people have different ideas. Cameron Brink. I'm ready to see Cameron. Cameron, I don't think can go anywhere because she just got drafted, but I'm not sure. Kurt Miller any day of the week. Smith must leave the Fever. Yeah, Smith, I think, has already left the Fever unofficially, right? She's already said bye. She's removed the Fever if you were watching this earlier. Next year, we'll see Cece versus Paige. Reese will take a back seat. Reese's career, I think Reese is just going to be on a team, and she's not going to be getting that Rookie of the Year stuff and get Duns and Sides and Smith out the door. Well, they're in a rebuilding, and let's go back and listen to this because she's talking about how they got into this rebuilding thing, and Lynn Dunn's part of that, and they have a 3-year plan, okay? And they're in year 2 of their 3-year plan. So let's play this a little more.
25 years, and so she's definitely the architect of this franchise. Made the draft picks early on, took a chance on Tamika Catchings, even though she was injured. Built this into a championship franchise, and playoffs every year. I had the opportunity to work with her from 2003 until I retired the first time in 14, and so significant amount of time. Tremendous leadership. Skills, great person. I think it sends the message from Pacer Sports and Entertainment that we're all into this franchise and we're ready as we move forward with somebody like Kelly leading us.
Your 3-year plan ended with making the playoffs.
Let's give that 3-year plan a hand. Remember, I came on board interim, and I think I've been on board for a couple of months, and realized it's going to take more than a couple of months. And then I said, okay, I think I can get us back on track, probably in 2 or 3 years. And came up with a plan. It had to do with draft picks. It had to do with trades. It had to do with free agency. And I was very fortunate that Rick Fuson and Simons, gave me the resources to do what we needed to do. And here we are 3 years later in the playoffs. We even challenged for the playoffs a little bit last year until we got hurt there at the end of the season. So I'm just thrilled for this franchise. I'm thrilled for the Simon family because of their tremendous commitment.
Because they pay your salary.
To the WNBA, to the Fever, all these 25 years. And now they're reaping some of the benefits of being all in.
What does that next timeline look like? What goals, what kind of years?
The next timeline is playing for championships. That's why I loved working for Pacer Sports and Entertainment and the Fever. We were all about winning. We were all about bringing great people into this franchise with a commitment to doing whatever we needed to do to be competitive night in and night out, and then challenge for championships. And I think we were in the finals in 2009, and probably looking back as a coach, I probably subbed too much, and if I hadn't, we probably won a championship then. And then we win in 12, and then we're back in the finals with a chance to win the championship in 15 or 16. So that's who we are. That's what we do. We expect this franchise to be competing for championships.
The expansion draft kind of throws a wrinkle in things both this year and next year. Just have you heard anything about that?
Well, it could, just depending on how you approach it. Unfortunately, I was part of the expansion when the Storm came in and the Fever, and I think it was Miami, and who was the other one? Miami, Portland. That's right, and they're back. Welcome back, Portland. And so I know what that kind of how that works. I think we're still waiting to hear the guidelines. How many will we be able to protect, and how will that work? And then when will Golden State draft in the draft? Hopefully we'll hear that soon. But it's tricky.
Oh yeah, Prodigal. Yeah, why was Wallace starting early in the season? Look, after the break, everything changed. I am just looking at the Indiana Fever after the break, and y'all are making some really good points about some things. That's why I stopped this. But I think that, yes, Caitlin doesn't like to get taken out of games, but she played from, college basketball starts in November, and then they played, and then between and then postseason, so she's all the way to the final game, which they didn't win. But you've got somebody who's 22 years old. Yeah, that's young, playing all that college, all those games, and then 3 weeks, and they start with this pro team, didn't have a break, didn't have time to rest. Then they had a 3-week break for the 3.5-week break for the Olympics. That really helped them a lot. I just don't think that these players had the stamina, Alan, to work, to train, to play 40 minutes a game or 37 minutes a game or oh, hold on. Just a second. All right. Sorry about that. I didn't have something plugged in. Yeah, so they didn't have the stamina here when they got to the playoffs. I don't think they were able to keep up with deeper benches. And also when you're getting called, the other team is not getting called for fouls and you are. I mean, I don't like this whole, oh, damn the referees and they're calling it, because it's easy to think they're calling it against your team when you have a favorite team. But when you look at the stats, they did call it against the Fever. The fact that Sides and Wallace started all those games, yeah, I'm sorry, I just already talked about that. Wallace was horrible, yes. Not good. Hope WNBA players get military drafted. They were tired because the same players didn't get enough rest during the game. Yes. Sparks ain't letting Brink. Yeah, I don't think the Sparks are going to let Brink go. Reese is a professional victim and Cece hater. Sorry, Cece is so much better than Paige. Come on, Pistol Pete's NCAA record. Who does that? Yeah. It took the Aces 3 years to become dominant. It started with Bill Lambier, and Becky just expanded on it. It takes time, y'all. And if Christy Sides was part of their 3-year plan and she's in year 2, then and they improved. What was their goal this year? To make it to the playoffs. They made it to the playoffs. Should they have done better? Well, I mean, yeah, but they started out like 1-8. And, you know, it just was a hard season. Dunn trying to take credit. It was Cece that made this happen. Well, it was. The Aces had top 3 picks in a row: Kelsey, Asia, and Jackie. Who were the Comets? Cynthia Cooper. Fever not playing for championships with Sides as coach. My friends still live there, Woodlands area. Well, Grayback, I don't know. How do we? I mean, they did better this year. I mean, if they could get is there a coach out there who could come in and do better? Year 3 Fever will be ready to win a championship. They need another big player in the paint. Cece needs to control her temper. Sides needs better support and to learn to make adjustments. Yes, I agree with you. I am a huge Caitlin Clark fan. Huge Caitlin. Let me just say this. Like, I suffer from depression. And this basketball season, watching the WNBA and watching college I got back into college basketball, which I hadn't been watching a lot in the last few years, and I got back into it, and it was something that gives me so much joy, and I look forward to it, and I'm like, when you suffer from depression and it's like nothing really, you don't care, like nothing really makes you feel happy or having something to look forward to, and this did it for me this year, and I'm having a hard time. Like the season's over for me, and I'm like, I gotta keep this joy going about it, because if any of you have depression, then you probably understand where I'm coming from. But this basketball gave me that joy back, and watching the Fever play. And oh yeah, in the beginning, I was so sad when they wouldn't win. Yeah, Caitlin needs another vacation. She needs to go on vacation. Stamina workouts. Yeah, they need to take some time off and then do everything they're going to do to get back next season. They got they got a long time. Caitlin played equivalent to an NBA season with college and the pros combined. Yeah. They also need a bench that can contribute or they will not make it into a championship. They do. You can't be 6 deep on your bench. I mean on your team. You've got to be able to you get 12 players dressed out. You got to have some depth. I know Caitlin doesn't like to come out, but she's going to have to come out sometimes. But put her back in when they start getting behind. Yes, I wanted her to rest too, Alan. Just saying the more Sides uses the bench during the year, the better the bench will be. Not using them and putting them in the playoff games is going to work. True, Joseph. Yeah, you've got to build that bench during the season. And I just don't think that she was able to, partially because, a lot of those players who ended up not even playing in games at the end of the season started games in the beginning of the season. Samuelson, Wallace, those are two that started a lot of games and then barely played in the playoffs. Asia Wilson is good. You can't, what has she been? Player of the year 4 times or something? She's really good. Cece is excited. They are just scratching the surface. Yeah, they are. Sides has to show improvement in coaching ability in the first 10 games to me, or I would have to coach a coach ready to replace her. Okay, that's Wody Mac. I mean, that's a thought. Let her see what they can do. I mean, look, she's made improvements in her team. Her teams have improved, and they're only going to get better. With Caitlin, and Caitlin's not going to want to leave. I mean, why would she want to leave? Her boyfriend's got a new job. He's left the Pacers, and he's going to be an assistant coach for Butler, which is in Indianapolis. And they're, at least get to see each other when you live in the same city. Cynthia Cooper, Cheryl Swoops won the first 3 championships in WNBA history. Comets won 4 in a 4, but folded. Oh, hey, Broken, good to see you. It's okay, Barb. I'm getting Caitlin withdrawals too. Yes, Alan, I'm sad about it. Oh, we could go back and watch replays, I guess. The playoffs was bad. I noticed right away that Sides changed the offense, changing what got them there into something else. Okay. I have anxiety. Yeah, I'm not laughing. I thought you were talking about the game. Yeah, me too, Alan. Mostly depression, though. I met Jerry Jones one time. Met him in Little Rock, Arkansas. They need a tall defender, like 6'2". Oh well, they need some defenders because Caitlin's not good on defense. Why did Sides change that? When did Cece officially receive the Rookie of the Year? Well, I don't know that she's gotten the trophy yet, but it was announced that she was the Rookie of the Year. I'm with you, like Jerry. I'm kind of wondering the same thing. When did she get it? Yeah, and also Sides only got that. Was that her only technical? And I think Sides needs to. She's very animated on the sidelines, but she doesn't get animated with the refs. And I guess she doesn't want to get in trouble, but you need to take some of that away from your players so that they're not getting technicals, because we almost lost Caitlin for a game. She one more technical and she would have missed a game. Power forward that stretches the floor and can switch on ball and rolls as well. And sorry, Katie Lou is eating up cap space. She ain't producing. Yeah, I don't know what Katie Lou's just didn't fit. What she doesn't have the speed to play, or what it is. Yeah, she does, Rhonda, but she's not that great in the two positions. She needs to be the one. She needs to be the one bringing the ball down. But I mean, who wouldn't get tired when you're getting guarded the way she gets guarded? I mean, I'm not saying she's out of shape or anything, but I'm saying they've got to give her some breaks. Sides had Saxon and Berger. Not using them is proof enough. Sides is clueless. The team has improved because of the players and not so much the terrible coaching they get. Well, that's part of their 3-year plan, was to get better players, because you do have to have better players to be better. And so, we'll see. Yeah, please hit that thumbs up. I would really appreciate that. I appreciate everybody being here today and watching. And it really helps my channel if you just a simple thumbs up really helps me a lot. Yes, she did. Katie Lou came back from having a baby. That's what I was going to say. I mean, did that slow her down? Is she not back in shape yet? She did hold herself out of some games. I think she just didn't feel, maybe she was sick. I don't know. I'm not saying they need to get rid of her, but they got to have players that can play to win a championship. Oh, that's right. She was the unanimous Rookie of the Year from AP. Caitlin was. Turnovers was a big problem for the Fever. Cameron Brinks. You're not going to get Cameron. I don't think you're going to get Cameron. She just signed a contract. Like I said, I'm not sure how all the drafting happens and everything in the W, because I don't know that much about draft, but I don't think you can just. Yeah, please do. Please press that like button. Many content creators say look into the draft and try to find athletes according to their measurables and defensive acumen. Also bench players not getting run. For instance, Letitia Am here at Atlanta. Well, and we've got with an expansion draft, you've got to provide, is it 1 or 2 teams coming in? This team's got to have 12 players, a new team, and they're 3 years. I thought they were 4, Alan, but okay, 3. Yeah, let's finish listening about their 3-year plan.
So if you have a real deep team, you're going to lose somebody of quality. But everybody will.
So then, from your assessment, what happened, what was good and bad about last night, and what needs to happen tomorrow?
Well, I think our young team, I saw that chart that somebody did of how many. Well, I didn't even know we had 19. And then you're looking at, I think Connecticut had 222. That's what happened. We met a veteran team in their home arena that had enormous playoff experience, and we didn't. And so now we've had some, and let's see how we respond to that. There's no way you can talk about what it's like. You just have to experience it. And it sends another message that as we move forward in free agency, we need to get some veterans that have played for championships. Yep. I thought we were fortunate to have Dantas, who has played in some championship games, and Timmy. But we don't have many people that have done that, and so you have to give Connecticut credit with Thomas and with Bonner. Just 2 of our all-time great vets in the WNBA, and they showed their championship experience, and it carries over to your teammates. It's contagious. And so we've got to move down that path where we've got more people with that type of experience.
Lynn, can you just
whoa.
Obviously, the focus is on this series, but was just wondering if you've begun any conversations with Kelsey's future here.
We're always talking about the future. We're always talking about who we need to keep, contracts we need to negotiate, and of course that's ongoing, and we'll continue. After the season's over. Right now, we're focused on the game tomorrow night.
they asked her about Kelsey Mitchell. Everybody wants Kelsey Mitchell to stay now. So they've got a 3-year plan, and so far their 3-year plan is working, and now they've got this Kelly person coming back as president who's top notch. So let me finish with these comments and then we'll talk about Angel. Fever have to build a roster around CC. Pace or nothing else matters. Pace is the key. Adams, Odyssey, I agree. They've got Caitlin. The only way they won this year was the pace. When they couldn't run, when the fast break's not working for them, they're not very good. So you're right. I hope you watch the rest of the playoffs and try to make comparisons between the elite teams and the rest of the league. Biggest difference to me is the talent off the benches. I will watch some of it, Alan, and I'll think about that when I'm watching. So thanks for that. I'm just not planning my my life around, when the Fever play. Not that it's that big a deal for me to plan around, but I'm just saying. They already sold out. The biggest difference in the team left in the playoffs is they all got good coaches. Oh. I don't like Hammond, though. I don't like Reeves, but Dantas can't play the pace. Yeah, that's true. She's not she's not in shape, or she's just not fast enough. Or could you see Angel Reese playing that pace? They're going to what, Mitchell? Core her? What does that mean? Is a couple of players need to renegotiate their contracts. The team needs to keep Mitchell. It won't happen, but I would love to see Boston and Cardoso at the 4 and 5. Cardoso, I think, is going to be their starter. I don't even know. Look, when a new coach gets in there, do you really think Angel Reese is going to be playing 40 minutes of basketball? I just don't. I don't think she's that good. She was good in in college. She can rebound. Yeah, I don't think Kelsey Mitchell will go to Chicago. I hope she stays in Indiana. There were complaints about Fever fan. How about all the hits, etc. Cece took this year? She took them with no, and she always takes the high road. She said that hit in the eye by Cardoso wasn't intentional, and y'all all saw the. She's not going. Look, if you're being bullied, I'm just any person in the world. If you're being bullied or talked badly about, and then you tattle on the, you say something bad about the people, that's just going to bring more on you. They complain too much, Prodigal. Yeah, they do. No on Cardoso. She's slow. She can rebound her own missed shots. Yes, Joseph. Coring a player is kind of like putting a franchise tag on them so no one can pluck them from your roster. Oh. We need Hannah. Yeah. You talking about Stalky? I don't know how. Yeah. Is that who you're talking about? She's got another year in. No, she's got a couple more years. I don't know who you're talking about. Fever can use core designation on Mitchell, which suspends unrestricted free agent status, which means she's not going anywhere. Oh, okay. Angel's a female. Dennis Rodman. I'm done for the season as well. Can't wait till next year. I'm getting ready for college. Where's the evidence? They need to show us evidence. Yes. Okay. Here's what Angel Reese says. Now, look, to me, Angel Reese she feels sorry for herself. And listen, this is her talking about Teaspoon getting fired. She's making it all about her. And listen to this. For the past 2 years, the media has benefited from my pain and me being villainized to create a narrative. Look, Angel, first of all, you started that narrative. You started that narrative because you did this, and then it was this thing about you and Caitlin were enemies and all this stuff, and you're not. This was beneficial to them. To who? Like who, Angel? I sometimes share my experiences of things that have happened to me, but I've also allowed this to happen to me for way too long. And now other players in this league are dealing with and experiencing the same things. This isn't okay at all. Anything beyond criticism about playing the game we love is wrong. I'm sorry to all the players that have and continue to experience the same things I have. This is why I started my podcast, to take my voice back and create the narrative of who I really am. At the end of the day, I don't want an apology, nor do I think this will ever stop, but something has to change. Okay, that's not her talking about teaspoon. Y'all know I've been going, okay, and this awful coaching guy. Let's see what he says. If y'all don't know, this awful coaching is the guy that yells and shows the plays and breaks them down. It's heartbreaking that the excitement around the league is at its highest, but the racial slurs and the derogatory comments and the online bullying are also at the worst. Let's watch this.
The Fever fan base.
So, after the game, Sun forward Alyssa Thomas was asked about the professionalism the Sun showed in this series, and this was her response.
Honestly, it's been a lot of nonsense. I think in my 11-year career, I've never experienced the racial comments from the Indiana Fever fan base. We had her face on a serious matter that happened in this world, and it's unacceptable, honestly. And there's no place for it. And we've been professional throughout the whole entire thing, but I've never been called the things that I've been called on social media, and there's no place for it. And basketball is headed in a great direction, but nah, we don't want fans that are going to degrade us and call us racial names. I mean, we already see what's happening in the world and what we have to deal with in that aspect. And we come to play basketball for our job, and it's fun, but we don't want to go to work every day and have social media blown up over things like that. It's uncalled for, and something needs to be done, whether it's, them checking their fans or this league checking. There's no time for it anymore.
Now, in response to those comments, the WNBA issued a statement saying the WNBA is a competitive league with some of the most elite athletes in the world. While we welcome a growing fan base, the WNBA will not tolerate racist, derogatory, or threatening comments made about players, teams, and anyone affiliated with the league. League security is actively monitoring threat-related activity and will work directly with teams and arenas to take appropriate measures to include involving law enforcement as necessary.
Okay, nobody should have racist remarks being made about them. I'm sorry that's happening, but to blame it on Caitlin Clark fans, I mean, I'm a Caitlin Clark fan, and I don't say stuff like that about them. We got to go back over here to Angel because that was her being boo-hoo-hoo, and here's where. Sorry about the stutter. Here's where she's talking about being heartbroken. Let me read this. Angel's being a drama queen about her coach getting fired. Yes, that's what we're going to read right now. I'm heartbroken. I'm literally lost for... That isn't like... You have a college degree. I don't know. These kids, okay, these women have college degrees. And they, like, I'm not saying you have to be perfect in your grammar, but you have a college degree. I'm heartbroken. I'm literally lost for words knowing what this woman meant to me in such a pivotal point in my life. She was the only person that believed in me. Really? So Teaspoon believed in you, and You were the seventh drafted player last season, and she was the only person that believed in you. Do you think Teaspoon had, like, really? You didn't have any fans or anybody else that believed in you? Like, what about Shaq? The one that trusted me. Many don't even know what it's like to be a black woman in sports when nobody believes in you. What has it got to be? Black women in sports in a mostly black league, right? Most of the players in the WNBA are black. And you're using black. Many don't even know what it's like to be a black woman in sports when nobody believes in you. I don't even know what to say. I'm at a loss for words. You had a tough job. All the crazy circumstances that we went through this year, and when your back was against the wall, you always believed. We don't know what's going on in this. Why was her back against the wall? What? Why? Because your team got the. Was it 3 and 7? Cordoza. What was Cordoza? 2 or 3 draft pick, and Angel was 7. So they got 2 out of the top 7 draft picks, first round. All the crazy circumstances that we went through this year, and when your back was against a wall, they must have given her an ultimatum. You always believed. I came to Chicago because of you. No, Angel, you got drafted by Chicago. You didn't have any choice. You were an unsung hero in my life. Why? Why didn't you sing about her? We built a relationship in a short amount of time that will last forever. I'll never question God, why he brings people in my life and takes them away from me in the capacity that I need them. But I've always believed everyone is in your life for a reason, a season. You were the best reason and season. You didn't deserve this. But I can't thank you enough. I love you, Teaspoon. Oh, Angel. Really? Come on. I don't know. Let's see what everybody said. Let's see what she said. She went there because of Weatherspoon. She got drafted by them. Is she saying she would have chose not to play there? Yeah, we're all racist because we like you. I don't see that when I'm watching basketball. I don't look at a player and go, well, she's good for a white player. She's good for a black player. I don't think that way. Thomas is mad because Cece took her assist title. Sticks and stones. They have been professional. Show us evidence that we are racist. Let's go Aces. These crybabies need to get off social media. Angel takes no accountability. She will never be on Katrina level. Oh my God, ESPN drinking the Kool-Aid. Isn't that a crazy statement after all the racism the entire league has shown towards Caitlin? Yes. Yes, because why are some of these players so hateful about Caitlin? She's above the board. She never says, no, on the court, she's better than them. Yeah, a lot of typos. They love the race card. Always makes it about race. None of the Fever fans are racist. Fever is the no drama team. Remember Ree, she said she wanted the bad guy role in the interview. Yeah, she wanted to be the bad guy. Third. Okay, Camilla was third and Angel was 7th. So they got 2 of the top 7 draft picks, and those 2 on that team, the team went boop. And you tell me why they should have kept their coach. What did she like? Yeah, they ended up with like 4 starters on the bench at the end of the season because, Angel Reese broke her arm. I still think she quit on her team. Teaspoon was the world's highest paid babysitter. And why did the Sky allow Marina Mabry, who's helping the Connecticut Sun without Mabry, would Connecticut Sun have beat the Fever? I'm not even sure. Angel's words will never age well. She wasn't the brightest apple at LSU, 1.9 GPA, supposedly. You have to have a certain GPA to graduate from college, though. But yeah, I mean, the thing is, these players, basketball, football, all of these, I don't care what race you are. If you've got a college degree, you should have pretty good grammar usage. You should. Really, you should from high school, but you were called racist for pointing out Angel. Yeah, that's just crazy. The sky was way too chaotic and not focused on the game. Well, no, they were more focused on Angel Reese podcast. I mean, who starts a podcast in their rookie season and takes time and mental focus and everything that goes into being a basketball player to go spend time doing something else? Why? Mabry and Dana Evans demanded a trade. Sky traded the wrong woman. Yeah, Mabry's, she can play, right? She's tough. She can play. I don't know why they would, I think that was a big downfall for the Sky. They shouldn't have done that. She went there because of Weatherspoon. She got drafted by them. Is she saying she would have chosen not to play there? I came to Chicago because of you. Typical falsehood. But hey, Teaspoon did leave because of you. You came to Chicago because they drafted you, not because of her. All those missed layups could have saved Coach. Make those layups and she's still your coach. What about leaving her in and trying to get the ball to her when they've got a game won so that they can pad her stats so that she can get her double-doubles in a row? No, any good coach would have stopped that. Y'all, franchise player had no say-so in the coaching change. Yeah, this isn't good. I'm literally lost for words. Somebody goes, okay, Angel Reese says, I'm literally lost for words, which what you should be saying is, I'm literally at a loss for words. But okay, you say, I'm literally lost for words. Also, Angel Reese, here's a long-winded bunch of words. Yeah, she thinks she's Rosa Parks or something. Yeah, you look, Angel, look. You're the one who makes yourself. You weren't villainized. Mm-mm. Now, where is her? See, that right there is what made her famous. That right there. That's how come. That's why we know about Angel Reese. Well, I mean, if you didn't watch her play, because I did watch LSU a lot. Yeah, that's why you're famous. Kennedy says, the Chicago Sky will miss Coach Weatherspoon. You gave the players so much growth. Really, that's why they were hurt and losing, and you worked hard to help the team. You did everything you could to help the team succeed. You helped with Kennedy Carter's growth. You helped develop Angel Reese and Camila Cardoso. Teaspoon sacrificed her job helping Angel Reese get her double-doubles and being a second mom. Angel Reese talking about when she accidentally pulled Camila Cardoso's wig.
I would never touch your wig.
Don't be coming for the wig.
I literally, when I got to
How you pull her wig though?
it was an accident. I was going for a rebound, something that I wanted. I went to go get it, and something was in my way. It was a wig. It was an accident. Though. I would never touch your wig.
Don't be coming for the wig.
I literally, when I got to the draft, the first thing I made sure I did was apologize to Camila because I didn't know we was gonna be teammates or not.
Yeah.
I was like, Camila, I want to tell you this right now. I apologize for pulling your wig.
It does happen.
Yeah, no, it does,
happen.
and it wasn't
No.
on purpose at all.
Sure, Jan. Yeah, we thought you liked playing the villain. Let's see what this says.
I'll take that because look where women's been dealing with this for 2 years now.
and understanding like, yeah, negative things have probably been said about me, but honestly, I'll take that because look where women's basketball is. People are talking about women's basketball, but you never would think that we'd be talking about women's basketball. People are pulling up to games. We got celebrities coming to games, sold out arenas, like just because of one single game. And just looking at that, like, I'll take that role. I'll take the bad guy role, and I'll continue to take that on and be that for my teammates. And if I want to be that, and I know I'll go down in history, I'll look back in 20 years and be like, yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person. It's because of me too, and I want y'all to realize that.
Oh, it's not because of you. Now, I did appreciate. No, I'm not watching. She gonna give Angel Reese flowers. Okay, here's the thing. A few weeks ago, Angel Reese started her podcast, and she put up on her page that her next guest was going to be Cheryl Swoops. This is Cheryl Swoops. If y'all aren't keeping up, Cheryl Swoops has badmouthed Caitlin Clark all season, has said, she's not all that great. Then she put out some private messages between her and Caitlin Clark, text messages. But then, here, let's see what she says, because she doesn't like Caitlin Clark.
Stupid. When you say Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark, people are like, oh my goodness, they don't like each other, so let's see what this is about.
Yeah.
So when you say Cheryl Swoops, Caitlin Clark, it's like, oh my goodness, Cheryl doesn't like her, so let's see what this is about. All of that's stupid to me.
Mm-hmm.
It's not true. It's all stupid. Like, when I look at the number 22s in the league, like I was 22, Asia's 22, Caitlin's 22. Like, those are some hell of a good number 22s.
Period.
And we're all a part of the Nike family. It just, like, a lot of the stuff that people are trying to say is there, it just does not exist.
Yeah.
Like, I'm tired of it.
Yeah.
I really am. And I can only imagine that she has to be tired of it as well. There was nothing there. The only time where I made a mistake talking about Caitlin and what she's done was on the podcast back in February that I apologize for. But it's like, nope, you hate her.
Yeah.
No, I don't agree. Swoops was supposed to, I think it was, where is it that she does the games from? Anyway, they pulled her from a game because she wouldn't even talk about Caitlin, how good Caitlin was or anything. All Angel Reese does is play good basketball, uplift her teammates, thank God, secure brand deals, and call other girls pretty, yet folks stay pressed about her. No, that's not all she does. She talks about being a villain and how it's not just about her, it's not just about Caitlin, and nobody said it was. Cheryl Swoop says Angel Reese and Asia Wilson are the two best rebounding players in the WNBA. Like, look, I don't think Angel's going to look back in 20 years. I don't think we're going to look back in 20 years and look at this season and say that Angel Reese did anything good. It's because of me too. Poor thing. No, anyway, what I was saying is, well, she put up on her channel, on her Unapologetically Me Twitter page, I think it was, and she said, questions, what are your questions for Cheryl Swoops? And people were just coming at her with these terrible questions, honest questions for Cheryl Swoops, like, why did all your players quit on you? Why were you mean to your players? Because she used to be a coach. And just things like that. And why do you hate Caitlin? And all these things. And the next thing you know, Cheryl wasn't coming on the show. This was like 2 weeks ago, I guess. But she was on this yesterday. I guess she did come on this week, episode 4. So I think she was supposed to be on episode 2, but we didn't see her. And then we see her on 4. But yeah, people were asking all kinds of questions. Caitlin Clark is not responsible for unhinged people on the internet. Angel Reese is not responsible for unhinged people on the internet. Blah, 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 blah. We can't stop with targeting the players for the actions of crazy people. Angel Reese, the woman that you are. What is Angel? Oh, I like. You should have kept Mabry. Zoop. So yeah. And then you got Brittany Griner. This just came out. So I had this. I wanted to show y'all as well.
We're real close. I feel my body feels better.
What Brittany Griner said.
So we're close. We're real close. I feel my body feels better. Feel better about the game, but it's not that 2021.
How do you feel about what has happened over the past year with the W since you first came in to where it is now? And obviously the game has grown and there's new fans, but how do you appreciate the new fans without all the noise that's coming with them?
I appreciate the new fans that sit there and yell racial slurs at myself, my teammates, and the people that I play against, because those might be opponents, but those
y'all even hear that?
Too. They don't deserve that. So I don't appreciate the new fans. I think it's okay to do that. But I do appreciate the new fans that respect the game, that are here to grow our league. Bringing people that may have not ever watched the W, to a WNBA game, so we can grow more fans. I do appreciate them. I appreciate the players that came in, and are coming in with the spark that they have playing at the level that they're playing at. We need more players coming in ready to put on the show and ready to give a good product, so we can keep growing each year. I'm happy about where the game is now versus when I came into the league.
Yeah, look, you've got, what happens is you take a league that's used to being, we get 4,000 people to our games. We're getting paid. They don't pay us enough. We got to go overseas to play basketball so we can make enough. And then you get Caitlin Clark coming in, good or bad, whatever. She has brought money to the league. She has brought fans to the league. Now, do some of her fans say things that they shouldn't about y'all? Probably. Swoops is still lying. Yeah, I just don't. Dallas Wings. I don't like Swoops. Yeah, Caitlin had 2 triple doubles. 2 triple doubles. Caitlin Clark has so many black males as fans too. Look, a lot of people who comment on, especially my shorts, appear, people who have their pictures in their profiles. I don't know everybody's race that comes in, but I think there are a lot of black male fans of the WNBA. It's not just white look, Caitlin came from Iowa, right? You're just going to have a lot of white fans from that. But it's not just people who live there. It's people who see good basketball. And like I said, Caitlin and her success and watching her and her team and the excitement that it brought me has helped with my depression. And I'm having a hard time losing that. I don't want to lose that. Yeah, she might have. Brittany is a disgrace to America. Why did we trade? Well, I don't think anybody needs to be in Russia in prison. However, she broke the law, and I think if you're going to go to Russia and you need to follow the laws, and if you accidentally left marijuana vapes in your luggage, somebody wasn't helping take care of you. But I don't think she deserved to stay over there. I don't want to get into politics and everything. But anyway, guys, that's what I know I'm all over the place. There's so much. Nobody in our league should be facing any sort. Oh, that looks like an older video. Oh, wait. This has just gone up.
Biggest stars in this league. What are your thoughts
on James and Chloe?
Caitlin, when your head coach came out with a statement today saying she announces all the racism that some people have felt in this league, players, trolls online, all those things, as one of the biggest stars in this league, what are your thoughts on the things not only your teammates have to endure, but just the entire league? And obviously, you've spoken on this before, but just now that you're coaching your GM, we're talking about it as well.
Yeah, it's definitely upsetting. I don't think nobody in our league should be facing any sort of racism, hurtful, disrespectful, hateful comments and threats. Those aren't fans, those are trolls, and it's a real disservice to the people in our league, the organization, the WNBA. But there are a lot of really good fans, whether they've been fans for 20 plus years or whether they're new fans in our league. I think continuing to uplift this league in a very positive light is the best thing that we can do, because there are so many great players, there's so many great teams, there are so many positive storylines that can be written and celebrated. And for me, that's why I became a fan of this league, is these people were my idols. I grew up wanting to be like them. So I think continuing to uplift and represent this league in a positive way is the best thing that we can do.
Chloe, on James and Chloe.
So the thing about it is that she wanted to be in the WNBA since she was like second grade. That's what she wrote on her schoolwork. And here she is. She's not racist. She knew what the WNBA looked like before she got there. She knew about it since she was in second grade. She's always taken the high road, and that's one of the things I like about her. And yes, she does a lot of charity work, and I would guess that we're going to see a lot of that in the upcoming months of her being out doing the, what is it called? Humanity, the homes for I can't think of the name right now. I have a few of those homes just down the street from me. Habitat for Humanity. And I don't even know. I know she visited with one of her coaches, really sick children in the hospital recently. Those kind of things a nice person does. I don't know about the other people. Does Angel do charity work? Maybe her blog that she does, Alan. I mean, her podcast. That might be charity. Yeah, Habitat for Humanity. Thanks for helping me, y'all. I get brain fog and but yeah, that's what we're going to look at today. I don't want to keep y'all any longer. We'll come back as things play out. We're going to come back and talk about some of these things in the league, and we'll talk. I'll wear my Indiana Fever, my only sports shirt I have. Well, I got some Razorback stuff. We'll talk about that and see what the coming days bring in the coaching situation, and as players are leaving. Like, we already know Smith's gone. I don't know where she's going or how it's going to happen, but she's left. She's removed the fever from her. She's mad at the fever. She's mad. She's gone. And go Hogs. She gives all her free swag to Iowa ladies basketball. Oh, really? Angel did some charity work on the corner of Harry Hines and Lombardi. Yeah, so I'm going to keep y'all posted. I'll be back anytime. I'm going to try to be back more, try to be on more. There's just been things happening in my, in my life that keep me from getting on here as much as I want to. But this is your place to be for the WNBA stuff, and we're going to be doing a lot of women's college basketball coming up. We're going to look at the 3-on-3, the new league. We'll talk about that sometimes. Thanks, Alan. And we will. Your El Professor is saddened by this loss. Sports was so entertaining to watch for about a good 6 months. Oh, you mean like Alan, if y'all subscribe and hit that bell, make sure you hit the bell to get all notifications. You'll know when I go live. And I typically set them up at least an hour ahead of time, and you should get notifications for those. And again, please like this video. It gets it out to more people. The more people we get in here, the more I can come back to you guys and get, I enjoy being here and having y'all to talk to. It makes it a lot more interesting. And I will see y'all. I'll see y'all soon. So thanks again, and have a great Friday. Bye.